right? Even though the first kings ruled at Memphis, they were buried at Abydos. We're going to get old, and I didn't even show you the stones that was at Abydos. You see what I'm saying? They got, it was slab columns in there that weighed almost 70 tons. So damn near every pyramid, every temple, they did, and so they did it for over 1,000 years on thousands of projects. Nobody else done it. We got to quit lying, letting these people get away with that. You see, even though the first kings ruled at Memphis, they went south to be buried at Abydos. Let me prove it to you. And then I'm going to come back up just to show you. They went back to their ancestors. So if at the Nomes, and we will go over the Nomes. You see right here, matter of fact, you see right here where the star is located. You see the star, that's Memphis. And so that's the first capital of Egypt. Okay, there, that's the capital of Egypt, Memphis. You see what I'm saying? Now, you see, nomes are what they call counties. Just like today, you got a county. You know what I'm saying? So you got 20 counties in what they call Upper Egypt, which is really Egypt. It started as Egypt, and then what you call Upper Egypt is actually Ethiopia. You see, it's actually Ethiopia. And so right there, you see Memphis is where they ruled from in Egypt. But then came up the river. You see, where's Abydos? Number 8. You see right there, number 8, that's where they were buried at. So they came back home. You see, they were buried in the south. All the first and second dynasty kings and queens came to Abydos to be buried. And this is also where Seti, Menma Seti the first, constructed the great temple of Osiris at Abydos. And so this is a very holy area, and in actuality, it's the first area in the world that's been documented. I want to talk to you today. If you did not know this, I need to look you in your eye when I tell you this is the first area in the world where it was documented that pilgrimages were made. So just before Jerusalem, before Mecca, before any city in India, Hinduism, or whatever, pilgrims came from all over the African world globally. You understand what I mean? If they were coming in from Asia, the Africans was coming in from the colonies in Asia. They came to Abydos on a pilgrimage to the great god Osiris, and made their pilgrimage. And so this long before any Jesus, Allah, any other Shiva, or any of that. So you can look that up and get on that. You understand? This is our holy land. This is not just, this is our motherland, it's our holy land. You see what I'm saying? This was the holy land to the ancients. Today, you say, what's the holy land? Some niggas might say, oh, Jerusalem is or Mecca. They don't know that, but when holy began to be documented, when people looked at land to be holy and made pilgrimages to certain areas to venerate particular deities, it was in Abydos, at Abydos. The first documented pilgrimage was made, you see what I'm saying, on the planet to the god Osiris. You see what I'm saying? And so, let me get back. And so, another thing, the principal crown was the southern crown. You see what I'm saying? And so, when you talk about the southern crown, you're talking about the crown of Osiris. You see what I'm saying? That's the southern crown. That's the crown which they say is the crown of Upper Egypt. But you see the kings wearing it in Nubia. You understand what I'm saying? You see on the Custul incense burner, you see the crown of Upper being adorned by that king. Let me see if I got it right. Well, here it is right here. How beautiful is that? If you see the crown right here, that's Senusret. You see what I'm saying? I believe that's Senusret. And so that's the crown of Upper Egypt. That's the principal crown. That means, you got the two crowns, you got one crown of Lower Egypt, the crown of Upper Egypt, and then they united and they reunited. They didn't unite, they reunited the lands. You understand what I'm saying? It was always Ethiopia, but some people went down there and thought they was gonna do their own thing, and the Ethiopians up the river wasn't having that, so they went down there and cracked that head and got things together. You see what I'm saying? And so they got, out of respect, they got the two crowns combined. But if you see the king got the crown of Upper Egypt, you have to automatically respect him as the ruler of the land. He don't need the combined to be acknowledged as the supreme ruler. If he wears the crown of Upper Egypt, he is the supreme ruler by default. Understand that. And that's the crown you see Osiris wearing, and there's some other gods and God, but more profoundly Osiris. You see? And so the most sacred temples were built in the deep south. You see what I'm saying? So when you start, going down, you talking about Karnak. You see, you talking about, that's number 4. That's the great city of Amen. That's number 4. That's Karnak, Luxor. You understand what I'm saying? If you talking about 2 is that would be Etfu. You know what I'm saying? Horus. You talking about number 1, Taseti. That's Philae, the temple of Isis. You talking about Calabash, which is another sacred temple in Nubia that is sacred to Amen, that people don't, which is one of the great temples of ancient Egypt, but because it's in Nubia, they don't want to talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? There's so many great, matter of fact, here it is. You see? And so that's Aswan. You got Kamambo. You understand? That's down, and I'll give you a reflection of those great temples so you can go and do some research. But, okay, so most of the sacred temples were built in the deep south. You see, the Egyptian Nubian counties started their count from the south down to the north. And so you see the orientation of how civilization is coming down the Nile, because they're counting from the south down to the north. And Egypt is in the north. So you see here, if you look at the count and you look at the first Nomi, you see the first Nomi is Taseti. You see what I'm saying? And you got 22 counties of Upper Egypt, and and then the first county of Egypt is Memphis. You see, and there is no Egypt before Memphis. So you got to understand that Egypt starts with Memphis. So if you look at the other 22 counties that precede Memphis, that's Ethiopia. That's Ethiopia. All those counties existed before Memphis. We counting. See, and they don't want to show you that. So, that show you how developed that it was in the South. And so that's why when I showed you the set, it showed you Naquata, and I run over that right quick. Naquata was a pre-dynastic Nubian culture, and it only existed from Nubia up to, if you see the Nomis up there, it probably is like 8 or 9. So it only went that far, and they'll show you that. You see what I'm saying? So what they tried to do is create other false pre-dynastic cultures that seem to be more ancient than the Naquata civilization that was up in the north. But I don't count that, because once you understand the flow of things, once you get in the flow of things, you gonna know when shit is out of order. You feel what I'm saying? In the spirit. You got to get in here. This shit can't just be facts. I'm one with this. It's like when I show you, and it's like in my mind and my spirit, I can just, I can astral project into any one of them numbers, and I can go in my spirit and mind, I can go into each city, each temple. I can go right on in, and all you see is a number. But to me, I can go into each area of every number in a temples, spiritual areas in that number already appear to me. You see what I'm saying? So I can go in, and that's how you got to get. You could take this right here. This is powerful. This is powerful right here, family. You can take this right here alone and just go through the nomes. Get the gods, get the cities, get what artifacts was left. Man, that right there is going to empower you. And then make sure you go into Nubia. And you could just start. You ain't got to go. You could just start with the temples, the gods, the geography. You ain't got to go digging in deep into, you're going to get the literature. You understand what I'm saying? And when you start with Dr. Ben. That's where you start. You start with Dr. Ben and let everybody come behind Dr. Ben. But just taking this alone and going into each nome, seeing the temples that is in each nome. You understand what I'm saying? Looking on the walls, and you can go and Google it. I don't care. Until you get there. If you haven't been there, you take what profound images that you can find and you collect that. You understand? So you can start building up your intellectual, spiritual connection to the homeland. You see what I'm saying? Until you get there. And so this is a very profound map, just doing the nomes and understanding that they're counting from the south down to the north. They're just like when you start with the 13 colony. That's how it started. You can't go on in California and say that was the first colony, because it's not. So they start in a sequence. They're starting in the natural order of how the civilization is developing. And so all of this is there. And so we're not doing the simplistic study. You know why? I don't blame you, because these niggas out here don't do that kind of study. They on some garbage. They on some bullshit. And I always bring you. And you know why? Because it was taught to me. You understand? I done a lot of research on top of what was taught to me. This is how Dr. Ben taught me, and I'm passing this information down to you. You see what I'm saying? So you can see that, the counties were counted from the south down to the north. Okay. Anytime Egypt was attacked, the liberator came from the south. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody come from outside of Egypt or outside of Africa to liberate Africa. If they came from outside, then you would expect, goddammit, if the United States sends some soldiers out and they go over into a goddamn country and somebody attack they goddamn soldiers over there, they're going to have to send soldiers from the outside, from America, to come help their soldiers in whatever country that they. So if you come from the outside and somebody attack you, then your family from where you come from, your nation from where you go come and help you. And so when Egypt was attacked, didn't no goddamn liberators come from outside of Egypt? They always came from the south. They always came from the south. The first was Narmer. He came down. Now Narmer came from Meccan, which is number 3. If you want to know what you start doing is when you start putting it in, once you understand the orientation. That's why I give you the orientation. See, that's key shit. That's key shit. Because you step for step in sequence. Sequence is necessary. You don't, you know what I'm saying? One foot after the other, one foot after the other in sequence. You see, as it happens. You see as it happens, as it's developing with the river. When you study the flow of the river, you're studying the flow of culture and civilization. You see what I'm saying? Once you get your orientation of how this is happening, you see when shit you go from and you will see when shit is out of order. You're gonna say, wait a minute, motherfucker, how is you saying something way down here is more ancient than up here? You go automatically start making that deduction like, no, something wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Something wrong with that. And you ain't got to need no motherfucking body's reference or nothing. Because these motherfuckers out here don't know nothing. I don't give a fuck whether they got a PhD. I don't give a fuck. Man, I didn't put motherfuckers, my teachers didn't crush, really, Dr. Ben in them era crushed in academia. You understand what I'm saying? Crushed they ass. They is literally, only thing is, what they did, the CIA and them senators that went to talking this space shit to diverge the next generation from standing on these elders and continuing in that direction to continue to crush their ass. Soon as the master teachers fall down, come all these niggas. You understand what I'm saying? And so they got off the real reason and start. Ain't nothing wrong with some occult. You understand what I'm saying? But there's concrete teachings where we don't have to be, dealing with no occult. Yeah, we still gonna deal with it because it's all areas of understanding and wisdom. I deal with occult, but I explain, you know what I'm saying, the hard factual, and I show you the occult that try to hide the factual and the symbolisms that they use to try to hide it, decode it. But I'm gonna teach you the hardcore information first and before I'm not gonna take you straight to the smoke and mirrors. I'm gonna give you the shit that's concrete that don't need nothing but the clear understanding that's even a baby could understand. Then I'll show you how to try to use the occultism to mask the truth. You understand? So we pull the veil up off of that.